Do you remember when a single goofy face on the TV could chase away every worry and have the whole family laughing until it hurt? Welcome to Golden Flame Stars. In today's video, we look back at the comic geniuses of the 1950s and 1960s, whose wit and warmth once filled living rooms with laughter. Now we'll see how they've grown older, and whether time has softened them, just like us. Bob Hope was the quick-talking king of 1950s TV specials and breezy movie comedies, firing one-liners like a machine gun. With USO tours and endless Oscar monologues, he became America's traveling court jester, especially for homesick soldiers. He died at 100, still remembered as the comic ringmaster who kept an entire century laughing. George Burns spent the 1950s trading dry wisecracks with his dizzy TV wife on The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. With a cigar in hand and twinkling eyes, he made understatement hilariously powerful. Passing away at 100, he remains the ultimate example of comedy aging with grace, timing, and gentle mischief. George Carlin spent the late 1960s breaking away from clean-cut TV gigs to become a razor-sharp voice of the counterculture. With quicksilver wordplay and suspicious eyes, he questioned authority, language, and every sacred cow in sight. Passing away at 71, he stands as one of America's most influential and relentlessly honest comic philosophers. Wild, lanky, and gloriously over the top, Jerry Lewis turned pratfalls and squeaky-voiced panic into an art form in The Nutty Professor and countless 1950s hits. Behind the clown was a sharp writer, director, and tireless fundraiser. Passing away at 91, he still crackles across the screen, his manic energy daring us not to laugh. Milton Berle, Mr. Television, exploded into American living rooms on Texaco Star Theater, turning Tuesday nights in the early 50s into national comedy events. His loud suits, frantic energy, and shameless mugging made TV feel brand new. He died at 93, the first true superstar of the television age. Dean Martin glided through 1950s and 60s variety shows with lazy charm, sly jokes, and that forever half-empty glass. Whether kidding with Jerry Lewis or hosting his own roasts, he made coolness look effortless. Passing away at 78, he remains the smooth, laughing face of lounge-era American comedy and music. Many of them have already left this world, but their laughter still echoes on. Don Knotts turned nerves into art as bumbling Deputy Barney Fife, forever fumbling his single bullet in Mayberry. His high voice, jittery body language, and terrified bravado stole every scene beside Andy Griffith. He died at 81, immortal as TV's funniest scaredy-cat cop. Crashing 1960s talk shows and smoky clubs, Joan Rivers fired off fearless jokes about marriage, ambition, and a woman's place in show business. Her piercing voice and "Can we talk?" attitude shattered polite expectations and opened doors for countless female comics. Passing away at 81, she's still hailed as the sharp-tongued pioneer who never stopped swinging. Don Adams made bumbling espionage cool and ridiculous as Agent 86 on Get Smart in the 1960s. With deadpan delivery, nasal voice, and that famous shoe phone, He mocked spy mania with perfect precision. Passing away at 82, he is forever remembered as the secret agent who could barely outsmart a doorknob. Andy Griffith brought slow Southern charm and gentle humor to 1960s America as Sheriff Andy Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. His calm drawl and patient wisdom made small-town stories feel like home. He died at 86, remembered as television's kindest storyteller and a quiet pillar of classic comedy. With wild hair, outrageous dresses, and that famous cackling laugh, Phyllis Diller smashed open the door for women in stand-up comedy. Her 1960s TV appearances turned marital misery and insecurity into sharp, fearless jokes. She died at 95, still hailed as a trailblazer who made chaos glamorous and hilarious. Jonathan Winters brought surreal, improvisational chaos to 1960s television, spinning entire worlds from a single prop or a tossed-off suggestion. His gallery of oddball characters made variety shows feel wild and unpredictable, like live cartoons for grown-ups. Passing away at 87, he's remembered as the genius free spirit who taught comedy how to truly let go. Imogene Coca stole scenes on early television hits like Your Show of Shows, twisting her face and body into unforgettable comic shapes. In the 1950s, her blend of slapstick and vulnerability made her one of TV's first great comedians. Passing away at 92, she still stands as a pioneer for every woman in sketch comedy. Up next is the quiet king of late-night comedy. Can you guess who he is? In the 1960s, Johnny Carson turned The Tonight Show into America's midnight habit, blending smooth monologues with mischievous sketches and easy, knowing smiles. With Midwestern charm and sly punchlines, he made every couch interview feel like a private joke shared with the whole country. Passing away at 79, he remains the quiet king of late-night comedy, the standard every host still chases. As blustery bus driver Ralph Cramden on The Honeymooners, Jackie Gleason turned working-class frustration into explosive, physical comedy. His booming voice, quick temper, and soft heart captured 1950s audiences who saw themselves in every argument. He died at 71, still hailed as the Great One of television comedy. Jack Benny turned silence, side-eye, and a single drawn-out pause into pure 1950s comedy gold on the Jack Benny program. His stingy persona and hopeless violin playing became running jokes America never got tired of. He died at 80, forever the master of getting laughs by seemingly doing nothing at all. Danny Kaye whirled through 1950s films like White Christmas and The Court Jester with tongue-twisting patter, rubbery limbs, and musical mischief. He could sing, dance, and turn nonsense syllables into roaring laughter. He died at 76, remembered as a one-man whirlwind of musical comedy joy. Red Skelton filled the 1950s small screen with gentle clowns, from Hobo Freddy the Freeloader to country bumpkin Clem Catadle Hopper. His mix of slapstick, mime, and unexpected tenderness made the Red Skelton show a family ritual. He died at 84, cherished as television's warm-hearted clown prince. Phil Silvers marched into television history as Sergeant Bilko, the fast-talking con man forever scheming on The Phil Silvers Show. His 1950s comedy was packed with scams, chatter, frantic energy, and perfectly controlled chaos. Passing away at 74, he's remembered as the slime mastermind of military mischief and punchline-perfect hustle. Lou Costello, the round, excitable half of Abbott and Costello, turned panic into pure slapstick in classic routines like Who's on First? In 1940s and 1950s films and TV, his childlike whines and frantic double takes stole every scene. Dying at 53, he remains the patron saint of lovable, bumbling comedians everywhere. With her booming laugh, rubbery face, and big mouth, nickname, Martha Raye bounced through movies, radio, and 1950s television as a fearless comic whirlwind. She sang, mugged, and stole scenes from some of the era's biggest stars, then spent decades entertaining troops overseas. Passing away at 78, she's remembered as a tireless entertainer with a giant heart. On Your Show of Shows, Sid Caesar treated 1950s television like a live comedy laboratory, mixing languages, pantomime, and wild characters. His sketches with a dream team of young writers rewrote what TV humor could be. He died at 91, remembered as the sharp, unstoppable brain behind early sketch comedy. Bud Abbott was the razor-sharp straight man who set up Lou Costello's chaos in their legendary Who's on First? Routine and countless films. In the 1940s and 50s, his precise timing and rapid-fire dialogue made every misunderstanding explode. Dying at 76, he is still revered as the ultimate partner who made nonsense sound perfectly serious. Bob Denver stumbled into sitcom immortality as Gilligan, the well-meaning disaster magnate on 1960s favorite Gilligan's Island. His rubbery reactions, floppy hat, and helpless grin turned every simple chore into shipwrecked slapstick. Dying at 70, he remains the eternally stranded clown whose tropical misadventures still charm new generations of viewers. In smoky 1960s clubs, Lenny Bruce tore into politics, religion, and sex with a raw honesty that shocked censors and thrilled true believers. His fearless routines sounded less like jokes and more like confessions, years ahead of their time. Passing away at 40, he remains the patron saint of uncompromising, truth-telling stand-up. Gracie Allen turned confusion into brilliance, playing the delightfully scatterbrained partner to George Burns on radio and 1950s television. Her twisted logic, musical delivery, and innocent face made every punchline feel like a surprise. Passing away at 59, she still shines as one of America's most beloved queens of sweet, surreal silliness. Ernie Kovacs treated 1950s television like a toy box, filling his shows with visual tricks, silent gags, and strange characters. He broke every rule, turning low-budget TV into something daring and unpredictable. Dying at 43, he left behind a short life, but a huge legacy that still inspires experimental comedy today. With her flaming hair, rubbery expressions, and perfect timing on I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball turned 1950s television into a masterclass in comedy. America watched her trip, scheme, and pretend everything was fine, then collapse into laughter. Passing away at 77, she still lights up every rerun, her comedy bright, alive, and hilariously human. With his bright smile, effortless charm, and impeccable comedic timing, Dick Van Dyke became a television icon through The Dick Van Dyke Show. His energy and warmth made him beloved across generations. Now 99 years old, he remains active and admired as one of TV's most enduring legends. William Shatner's commanding presence, confident voice, and charismatic looks made him unforgettable as Captain Kirk on Star Trek. He became a cultural phenomenon, shaping sci-fi television for decades. Now 94, he continues to act, write, and inspire fans with his humor, curiosity, and remarkable longevity. Alan Alda's warm smile, sharp wit, and natural charisma made him unforgettable as Hawkeye Pierce on MASH star. His blend of humor and heartfelt emotion set a new standard for TV storytelling. Now 89, he remains admired for his intelligence, kindness, and lifelong dedication to the arts. Bob Newhart's deadpan delivery, gentle wit, and unmistakable stammer made him a comedy icon on The Bob Newhart Show. His unique style defined an era of smart, understated humor. He passed away on July 18, 2024, at 96, and remains cherished as one of television's most original comedic voices. Carol Burnett's expressive face, impeccable timing, and fearless comedy turned The Carol Burnett Show into a television landmark. Her joyful sketches and musical parodies shaped generations of performers. Now 92, she continues to inspire audiences with her grace, humor, and groundbreaking legacy. Barbara Eden's sparkling blue eyes, radiant smile, and playful elegance turned her into a television sensation as Jeannie in I Dream of Jeannie. Her charm and comedic grace made the show a timeless classic. Now 94, she remains beloved by fans who grew up enchanted by her magical persona. With her bright smile, expressive eyes, and independent spirit, Marlo Thomas captivated audiences as in Marie and That Girl. She became a symbol of the modern, ambitious young woman. Now 88, she continues to advocate, perform, and inspire with her timeless charm and generosity. Henry Winkler's cool swagger, leather jacket, and iconic Fonzie charisma made him a cultural phenomenon on Happy Days. Behind the role was a warm, generous actor loved by fans. Now 80, he continues acting with the same heart and humor that defined his early stardom. Ron Howard's boyish grin and gentle demeanor made him beloved as Opie on The Andy Griffith Show and Richie on Happy Days. He later became a celebrated filmmaker. Now 71, he remains one of Hollywood's most respected talents, admired for his creativity and humility. Lily Tomlin's sharp wit, expressive face, and fearless humor made her a breakout star on Laugh-In. Her quirky characters and clever satire earned her generations of devoted fans. Now 86, she continues performing with the same intelligence, warmth, and comedic brilliance that defined her early career. Lee Majors' rugged good looks, calm confidence, and heroic presence made him a household name in The $6 Million Man. His role as Steve Austin became a pop culture landmark. Now 86, he continues to appear on screen, cherished for his classic action star charisma. Patrick Duffy's friendly smile, tall stature, and gentle demeanor won audiences over as Bobby Ewing on Dallas. He became one of TV's most recognizable leading men of the 70s and 80s. Now 76, he remains active, admired for his warmth and long-lasting connection with fans. John Amos' strong screen presence, expressive intensity, and heartfelt performances made him unforgettable as James Evans Sr. on Good Times. He brought depth and dignity to every scene. He passed away on August 21, 2024 at 86, and continues to be respected for his powerful roles and his lasting impact on American television. Loretta Swit's expressive eyes, sharp wit, and emotional depth made her unforgettable as Major Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH star. Her performance added both humor and heart to the series. She passed away on May 30, 2025 at 87, and continues to be celebrated for her strength, compassion, and groundbreaking TV legacy. Stephanie Powers' radiant beauty, bright energy, and effortless sophistication made her a star as Jennifer Hart on Heart to Heart. Her chemistry with co-star Robert Wagner became TV legend. Now 83, she remains respected for her grace, talent, and decades of dedicated work in the arts. Jerry Mather's innocent smile, expressive eyes, and natural boyish charm made him a beloved figure as the Beaver on Leave It to Beaver. He became one of America's most iconic child actors. Now 77, he continues to connect with fans who grew up watching his wholesome, timeless performances. Joyce DeWitt's bright smile, gentle charm, and natural comedic timing made her beloved as Janet Wood on Three's Company. Her grounded presence balanced the show's wild humor perfectly. Now 76, she remains a favorite among classic TV fans who still adore her relatable, down-to-earth style. Erin Gray's striking beauty, poised presence, and confident charm made her unforgettable as Colonel Wilma Deering in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. She became one of TV's most iconic sci-fi heroines. Now 75, she remains admired for her elegance, strength, and lasting fan appeal. With her striking beauty, warm smile, and graceful strength, Lynda Carter became a TV icon as Wonder Woman. Her portrayal defined the character for generations. Now 74, she remains admired for her talent, elegance, and lasting influence as one of television's most beloved heroines. Kent McCord's clean-cut looks, calm demeanor, and steady screen presence made him widely admired as Officer Jim Reed on Adam 12. He became a symbol of integrity on classic television. Now 83, he remains appreciated by fans who remember his warm, trustworthy performance. With his expressive features, comedic charm, and lovable innocence, Max Baer Jr. became a fan favorite as Jethro Bodine on the Beverly Hillbillies. His humor and timing helped make the show a cultural phenomenon. Now 87, he remains appreciated as one of classic TV's most memorable comedic actors. Linda Evans' striking beauty, soft voice, and poised demeanor brought her widespread fame in series like The Big Valley before she became a household name with Dynasty. Her elegant screen presence defined an era of primetime drama. Now 83, she is fondly remembered as one of television's most glamorous leading ladies. With her warm smile, graceful presence, and calm authority, June Lockhart became beloved by TV audiences through Lassie and Lost in Space. Her nurturing on-screen roles made her a comforting figure for generations of families. She passed away on October 23, 2025 at 100, and remains admired as one of classic television's most enduring and elegant icons. Shirley Jones' radiant smile, warm voice, and natural grace made her a beloved presence on television as the matriarch in the Partridge Family. Her charm and musical talent captivated viewers throughout the early 70s. Now 91, she remains admired as one of classic TV's most elegant and versatile performers. Sally Field's youthful energy, expressive face, and irresistible charm made her a standout in early series like Gidget and The Flying Nun. She quickly became one of the most recognizable young stars of the late 60s. Now 79, she is celebrated for her remarkable career and enduring emotional depth on screen. Carol Baker, who captivated audiences in Baby Doll and Giant, was one of Hollywood's boldest and most intriguing actresses of the 1950s. Now 94, she enjoys a quiet retirement, her once glamorous image softened by time, but her fearless spirit forever celebrated by classic film lovers. Geraldine Chaplin, daughter of the legendary Charlie Chaplin and acclaimed actress of Dr. Zhivago and Cría Cuervos, continues her family's artistic legacy. Now 81, she remains active in European cinema, her elegance untouched by time, though she moves more slowly after recent health struggles. Elke Sommer, the German-born beauty who rose to fame in the 1960s with films like A Shot in the Dark, embodied elegance and playfulness. Now 85, she lives quietly in Los Angeles, her energy slowed by age, but her charm and warmth still capturing the hearts of classic film fans. Leslie Caron, the enchanting dancer-actress of Gigi and An American in Paris, brought Parisian charm to Hollywood's golden age. Now 94, she lives peacefully in France, slowed by age but still radiant, her grace and artistry leaving an indelible mark on film history. Julie Christie, The Oscar-winning beauty of Dr. Zhivago and Darling defined 1960s cinematic elegance with her quiet intensity. Now 84, she lives a secluded life in the English countryside, largely retired from acting, cherishing peace and privacy after decades in the spotlight. Angie Dickinson, the sultry star of Police Woman and Rio Bravo, redefined the image of strength and glamour on screen. Now 94, she lives privately, coping with the effects of aging, yet remains admired for her poise, resilience, and trailblazing career in television. Sometimes all it takes is one old clip, one familiar face, and suddenly we're young again, laughing in the living room like nothing in the world could touch us. Thank you for joining Golden Flame Stars on this little journey back to the comics who once lit up our days. If their smiles stirred your memories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and keep their laughter alive in your heart.